हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पतः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवभूतोदरिषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुदरे नमः या तरिषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूव ते तनुः शिवा शरव्याया तवतया नो रुद्रमृडया या ते रुद्रशिवा धनुरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुभाषन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः या विशुङ्गिरिशन्तहस्ते विवर्ष्यस्तवे शिवां गिरिप्रतां गुरुमाहिं पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावदामसि यथा नः सर्वविज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत् अध्यवोचदधिवक्ता प्रणमो दैव्योऽभिषक् अनेकश्च सर्वाद्यं वयं सर्वाश्च यातुधान्यः असो यस्ताम्रो अर्णहुत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये क्षेमानुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षुश्रिता सहस्रशो वैशालुम्येणीमहे असंयो वसर्पतिनीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उदैनं गोपादृशन्नदृशन्नुतहार्यः उदैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयादिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीदुषे अधो ये अस्य सत्त्वादोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रपञ्च धर्मरस्ममुभयोरात्रियोज्याम् याश्च ते हस्तरिषभः पराता भगवो वपा अवदत्यतनुस्वगुं सहस्राक्षशतेषु ते निषेकशल्यानामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विभ्यन्तकपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवाकुङ्कुता अनेशन्नस्येषव आहुरस्य दिशङ्गतिः या देहेतिर्नीदुष्टमहस्ते बभूव ते तनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नाथकाय धृष्टवे उभाभ्यामुदते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् प्रणक्तु विश्वतः अधो यदि श्रुतिस्तवारे अस्मन्निवेदितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यवाहवे सेनान्ये दिशाञ्चवदये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पदये नमो नमः सस्विन्दराय कृषीमते पतीनां पदये नमो नमो भक्षुषाय विद्यादिने नानां पदये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पदये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पदये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथाविने क्षेत्राणां पदये नमो नमः सूताय हन्ताय वरानां पदये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्तपदये वृक्षाणां पदये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पदये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पदये नमो नम उच्चैघोषाय क्रन्दयते पद्मीनां पदये नमो नमः कृत्स्नगीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पदये नमः नमः सहमानाय परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरते परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः स्त्रिकाविभ्यो जिहातुं सद्भ्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो सिमभ्यो नक्तं चरभ्यः प्रवृन्दानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमभ्यो धर्माभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयच्छभ्यो विसुजभ्यश्च वो नमो नमोऽस्यभ्यो विद्यभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यश्च यानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वभद्भ्यो दाभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठभ्यो दावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभावदिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वभदिभ्यश्च वो नमः नाभ्यो विविद्धेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगणाभ्यश्च गुंहदेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो कृत्सेभ्यो कृत्सवदिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो राधेभ्यो राधवदिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतिभ्यो रतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः शत्रुभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुञ्जिष्ठेभ्यो दिशालेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः दिशुभ्यो धन्वकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कृतयुभ्यश्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वभ्यश्वपदिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शिखिकण्ठाय च नमः कमर्दिने च व्युक्तवेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिबिरिष्ठाय च नमो नीलुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्ध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशते चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्र्याय च शीघ्राय च नमः पूर्व्याय चावसंज्ञाय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च वीर्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय चापकल्पाय च नमो जगन्याय च बुद्धियाय च नमः सोम्याय च नगसर्याय च नमो ज्ञान्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च कल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय चावसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय चाशुरथाय च नमः शूराय चावविन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरूधिने च नमो इल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो कृष्णवे च प्रशसाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिणे च श्रुतिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णेशवेगायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः सत्याय च मत्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीत्याय च नमः सूध्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाभ्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः भोग्याय च मट्याय च नमो वश्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईद्रियाय च कप्याय च नमो वाक्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च सुपाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो अन्ते च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिवेशेभ्यो नमस्काराय नमः शम्भवे च मयो भवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तेभ्याय च पूज्याय च नमः पार्याय च मान्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आराध्याय च नाध्याय च नमः षष्ट्याय च वेद्याय च नमः सिद्धत्याय च प्रभाव्याय च नमः हिरण्याय च प्रपद्याय च नमः विपुंशिलाय च शयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुरस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च कृत्याय च नमः स्तल्भ्याय च गेत्याय च नमः नाट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः आगुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोक्याय चोलप्याय च नमः सूर्याय च सूर्याय च नमः वर्ण्याय च वर्णसद्याय च नमो पौरमाणाय च विघ्नते च नमः आखिरते च प्रखिरते च नमो अर्किरिकेभ्यो देवानां हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणवेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्तेभ्यो नमः आनिर्हतेभ्यो नमः आमीवत्तेभ्यः यापे अन्तसस्पते दरिद्रं नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणां येषां पशूनां भावेर्मानोमो येषां किञ्चनामवत् या ते रुद्रशिवा तनो शिवा विश्वाः वेषति शिवा रुद्रस्य वेषति तया नो गृहजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तमसे कपर्दिने क्षयत्रीराय प्रभरामहे मतिं यथा नश्यवसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननादुरम् प्रदानो रुद्रो तनो मयस्तति क्षयत्रीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्छं जयोश्च मधुराय ये पिता तदश्याम तव रुद्रप्रणीतौ मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकं मानमुक्षन्तमुतमानमुक्षितम् मानो वदेर्विजरं मोदमातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीर्षः मानस्तोकेतनये मान आयुषिमानो गोषुमानो अश्वेषु रीर्षः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभाविको वदेर्भविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आराप्ते गोग्नमुदपूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुन्नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधिकदेव प्रोज्ञया च नः शर्म यच्छद्विवर्हाः सुविश्रुतं रक्तसदं युवानं मृगन्तभीममुपहत्तमुग्रं मृडालहित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निव बन्धुसेनाः हरिणो रुद्रस्य हेयं प्रणक्तु परिद्वेषस्य दुर्मदिरगायोः अवस्थिरा भगवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमेकस्तोकाय तनयाय मृडया नीरुष्कवशिवतव शिवो नः सुमना भव वर्णे वृक्ष आयुधन्विताय कृत्तिं वसान आचर विनाकं निर्भदागहि निगरितविलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रकुम्भेदयोन्यमस्मन्निव बन्धुताः सहस्राणि सहस्रदा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीनामुखाकृति सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अतिभूम्याः तेषां सहस्रयोजने वदन्तानि तन्वसि अस्मिन् महत्यर्णवेन्तरिक्षे भवानि नीलग्रीवा श्रीकण्ठाः शर्वाहनः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवा कपर्दिनः ये अन्नेषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु विवरोचनान् ये वदाम् परिरक्षय ऐकवृदायमृतः ये दीर्घानि प्रचरन्ति सुखावन्तो दिशङ्गिणः तैलावन्तश्च भूयापुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रामितस्थिरे सहस्रयोजने वनन्वानि कर्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्याम् ये परिक्षे ये दिव्येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचे दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचेर्दशो देशेर्दशो वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु तेयं विष्णो यश्च नो वेत्तितं भोजं वेदधामि कर्मतय्यतामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सु यो ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वाभुवनादिवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमोऽस्तु ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्यो मर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा प्राणानां वन्दिनसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्येनाप्याय स्वा नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि तमुष्टु यस्विषु सुतं वायो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वामहेशौ मनसाय रुद्रं नमो नृत्येवमसुरन्दुवस्य अयं मे हस्तो भगवान् अयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभेशो यगुं शिवाभिमर्शनः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शञ्च मे मयश्च मे प्रियञ्च मे नुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे भर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे सूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे क्षीरं च मे गयश्च मरुतं च मे मृतं च मे यक्ष्मं च मे नामयश्च मे देवादुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे नमिन्द्रं च मे भयं च मे सुगं च मे शयनं च मे सूषा च मे सुदिनं च मे
ॐ अत्रिणात्वाक्रिमे हन्नि कण्वेन जमदग्रिणा विश्वावसो ब्रह्मणा हतः कृमि गुं राजा अप्येषादस्तपतिर्हतः अधो माताधो पिता अधो स्थूरा अधो क्षुद्राः अधो कृष्णा अधो श्वेताः अधो आशातिका हताः श्वेताभिः सह सर्वे हताः आहरावद्य श्रुतस्य हविषो यथा तत्सत्यं यदमुल्यमस्य जम्भयोः आदधामि तथापि तत् खण्मृसि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे
Sadhguru Sai Saraswathi Sadhguru Sai Saraswathi Sadhguru Sai Saraswathi Sadhguru Sai Saraswathi Devasati
Sai Om Sri Sai Ram. Dear Swami, thank you so much for blessing us to think of you, pray to you, and seek your blessings on this holy day. It's been 11 years since you decided to leave this physical body and to be everywhere, wherever we think, wherever we want, you come and bless us. Today, on this occasion, Swami many times says that you all have done so many things in past birth. That's why you are all blessed to be during Avatar Sut Day. I don't know about others, but for me, totally, it is His love that has given this chance in this lifetime to see, to pray, and to be near Him in this lifetime. And there is one person who's just born in Puttaparthi district, born in Sri Sathya Sai devotee, studied in Ishirama school in grade 4th onwards, entirely under Swami's fold. Sri Balu Subramaniam Karnam. He did his master's degree in Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. Since then, he has been like part of Swami's organization throughout. He has been a regional devotional coordinator, president in Greater Baltimore, and Region 3 president, and now serving Sri Sathya Sai Global Council as a national president. Without taking much time, Balu, we request you to share your experience and glory of Swami Sai Ram.
सर्वरूपधरं शान्तं सर्वनामधरं शिवं सच्चिदानन्दमद्वैतं सत्यं शिवं सुन्दरम्. Offering my most humble salutations at the lotus feet of Swami, who is in all names and who is in all forms. He is the being awareness, bliss Atma. He is the truth, auspiciousness, and ultimate beauty of our lives. Sisters, brothers, and members of the Texas Sai family, Sai Ram to all of you. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to talk about Swami on this auspicious occasion of Aradhana Day. I know the technology Swami used to name as technology. Always we get into trouble with technology. That's what the only technology he used to prescribe is the love. That is the only thing works in this world perfectly. My journey started, everybody's journey started in this small village near Puttaparthi. It is so happens that today this village is in Sathya Sai district. So it's about 27 miles from Puttaparthi village. It's those days village itself. Now it is a district headquarters for all of us. So I was born here. My parents are devotees of Swami. My father was a Karnam of this village. Karnam meaning the CFO, CEO of the village those days. So we had everything. We had, lands, cows, everything. We were living organically. By the way, I tell all my friends, we lived organically, but some people, made us live inorganically. Now we are forced to live organically in this country. So that's the life, but we lacked something in this village. This village lacks education beyond 5th grade. So we had only the primary school, which, after 5th grade, we need to look for the nearby village or, big towns nearby like that. So in that way, like most of the children, especially girl children, stopped their education after the 5th grade. Can you imagine? That was the situation with that. It is so happened that because of, Swami is starting this wonderful school called Srimati Ishwarama High School, where this foundation Swami is putting. That foundation is the foundation for most of us who got education. Can you imagine? That is the one of the, boon Swami gave to Mother Ishwarama, that, education, medication, and water, which he fulfilled, and staying in Puttaparthi forever. And this starting of Ishwarama High School drawn our family, who are other, I was the youngest among 6 children. So the rest of them moved to Puttaparthi, and my eldest brother getting a small job in the bank, State Bank of India, helped quite a bit in setting up the family there. So except me, everybody moved to Parthi. So if you look at, this is the age I came to know about Parthi. This is my 3rd sister and my 2nd brother. They joined Parthi, and they came back and told beautiful stories about their new school, how Swami used to send apples and laddus and all to school. I used to wonder whether they go to school or some kind of a temple, because you get all those prasadam, that kind of things in the temple. But I was very much excited to receive them and receive the more information about Parthi. So once my brother came and said that the Swami has 2 pets. One is Sai Gita, the elephant, and another one is Sai Kishore, which is a camel. Camel little lesser known actually. So he said Sai Gita garland Swami when he calls Sai Gita. So I was so much excited to see the elephant, all like garlanding Swami. This was, I have not yet gone to Parthi. So that made, this is the school actually, there is the Ishwarama High School, which made our family to move to Puttaparthi. My brother, so I reached Parthi, my brother took me to this beautiful place called, today's Sai Kulwant Hall. It used to look like this in, late 70s. So actually I know that my 44 years of experience, I need to put it in 40 minutes or so. Let me try my level best. So this is the way we sat in, this corner. I was asking my brother when Sai Gita is going to come and garland Swami. Actually, I more than, I want to see that. Then my brother said, here there are volunteers. They will throw you out if you talk too much here. So that's the first, be silent is the message for me. So we sat and Swami came, and, my brother said, touch his feet. See, that is the first touch, first Pada Namaskar in my life. So later on, when we came home and after a lot of deliberation, I told, I want to be with you. I want to be in Puttaparthi. I don't want to, stay in village alone. But even though my parents are in village, they said, you are too young to come to Parthi. But I said, no, I would like to be here. They were worried that I'll cry every day for my parents. So upon a lot of deliberation, they put me into this school, which is my primary school in Puttaparthi village. Basically, this is a wonderful school where Swami himself studied from 1st grade to 5th grade. Here is the attendance register. 1936, Swami studied, as R. Satyanarayana, his Swami's name was. So we are double degree kind of, some of the students we studied in school. Later on, we studied in the schools and colleges, built by Swami. We have this double degree called, we are alumni of a school where Sai is the alumni, and we are also proud alumni of Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. So this is the Swami's education, you all know very well. After Uravakonda, 1940, after 9th grade, he threw the books, so that he gave the books to all of us. Not only us, he gave the jnana to every one of us. That is it. I started. When I was in that school, one day, one of my friends said, hey, come, I'll show you one wonderful person. So he took me to one lady sitting under the tree in the South Prashanti area. We both went as if we are very big people, like we're small guys in my 4th grade. I joined for my 4th grade. So we went to this lady. Her name is Gali Sharada Devi. Those who don't know that name, it's a Pedda Bottu. Because she used to wear that big bindi, she was called, Pedda Bottu. Amazing thing about her is she served Shirdi Baba. Means she has seen Shirdi Baba as a small child. and she served Swami in her old age. Imagine in one life, 2 Sai avatars. So we went to her, then my friend only introduced it. I didn't even know who is Shirdi Baba also, let me tell you. So then he said she has seen Shirdi Baba and she's serving Swami. So we went to her and we said, grandmother, we want to touch your feet. So she immediately, see, that is the humbleness of those great devotees. She said, you should never aspire to touch my feet. You should touch Swami's feet. See, why I'm saying is no self-aggrandizement. They are so humble. Imagine if we would have seen both Sai avatars, it is very difficult to hold us. That's the way Swami has blessed her. So that kind of people were there in Puttaparthi. Nothing like, Swami is important. All others are not that important, kind of. Not even themselves, they are not important. That is the first lesson. Then, as I started studying, and my sister, they're all planned a nice drama from Ishwarama High School that is directed by none other than, Swami's sister Venkama Garu, who used to live in the village. So she directed. That is nothing but of flowers fighting to reach God kind of concept. I sat down and watched this in Purnachandra. I thought, will I get the opportunity to be like that? See, that's a way, like when we see them, you feel like doing and you feel like going close to Swami. That's this kind of a sibling rivalry, I can call it. That is Bhakti. The Bhakti, every day you have the cultural activities. Swami students from Vrindavan in 1979, they presented this beautiful drama called Kingdom of Heaven. This is the story of Jesus' life, which I never knew, because in our village, I always used to think there was only two religions in the world. One is Hindu, other one is Muslim, because that is only my village is made up of. So because the Christians in India, they don't live in small village. They used to live in the big cities. There only you have churches or so. After coming to Parthi only, I got introduced to this, different religions, all that, the Sarvadharma Stupa, all that. So this is a beautiful drama directed none other than by Swami himself. In this drama, like we were all those days, Parthi, they used to allow the children to sit front to watch the drama. Behind us used to be Swami watching the drama. I still remember the person who acted as Jesus in the drama is none other than Brother Rupak. So the introduction scene. So when the Jesus comes to synagogue, there are birds were caged, by sellers. Jesus, being a compassionate being, he comes and opens up all those cages, because he can't bear caged birds. All those birds went on our head. See, that is a wow moment for, children like us. Believe it or not, even today, if I go to a church, many churches I visited, when I went to my scientific conference ourselves. So, whether it is Westminster, church in Paris or, Montreal, when I close at the altar, I see these birds. That is the power of introduction of Jesus by none other than Bhagavan. So, and another beautiful thing about those days is Swami was so easily accessible and available, and what we call Sulabha Prasannaya Namaha is one of these names. Those days, one day there are 6 families, including ours, built home in Parthi, and Swami casually in the darshan, he asked, when are you doing the Groh Pravesh, saying that when are the housewarming. So these people were just say, Swami, please tell us. Swami said, I'm coming tomorrow. Can you imagine? Swami decides the date. Swami decides the muhurta. So he comes. It's very beautiful to see Swami, doing the housewarming. 6 houses. He comes to each house, head of the family of that house, garland Swami. This is my brother, going like a security guard for Swami to each house. Can you imagine? Those were the days. Then the head of the family, Garland Swami, Swami goes inside the house. He touches the fruits and flowers. And also there is a milk, fruits and flowers. Swami just touches them. The lady of the house gives the, harati to Swami. Just that's it. And he comes and goes to the next house, goes to the other house. Like that, he finishes so quickly 6 houses. And finally took a nice picture. Can you imagine? You look at here. They didn't even put, like a cement. See, the houses were not ready. But when God comes to home, that is the real housewarming. Like that's what is, it's all the significance is about. And if you look at, they didn't even put a carpet. They put a rangoli, but not even flowers. Can you imagine? That were the, they didn't even take care of that, but Swami came. See, those were the days. We could see all these things, and Swami inaugurating even the new building for bank and materializing 3 gold coins in the bank, saying that where is the, he's the one who gave the first money to the bank. Can you imagine? Puttaparthi. That's what is Swami's those days. And also Swami paying tributes to the parents, because since there was no such science of higher learning, the college was only in Vrindavan and Anantapur. Swami on 22nd November, he used to come in a chariot and used to pay tributes to the Mother Ishwarama and Pedavenkaram Raj Garu. This is Swami is showing. Swami is always, it doesn't say do it. He'll show it so that we can do it. See, that's the way Swami shows us, and he shows us the path. Following him is, the easier thing. So that is the time we used to sneak around, Samadhi of Ishwarama and, see Swami close by. And then the inauguration came, the college inauguration. I didn't even know that whether I will be, in that. I joined Ishwarama High School. This is the school after 5th grade in my village school in Puttaparthi. I joined the school. Later on, while joining, Johns Hopkins School of Medicine here in USA, I read this. It touched me so much. Swami says on opening of, Ishwaram High School on 20th July 1972, which is going to be celebrated at 50 years. Swami says this school will become gateway for rural children to higher education. You have seen my village. I went to Johns Hopkins. When I read this after joining Johns Hopkins, I felt it is his word coming true, not my effort. Because Swami's word is so powerful. It will come true because his name is Satyam. So in this school, we had, this is our, first, hostel warden, Nityananda Menon sir. And also Kasturi Garu is, here, that side. Swami used to come regularly, and you can see, a devotee like Aldrecker here. Swami used to come for all the games in the, like sports. That is the time the ground was taking up shape. So one such occasion, we were very much interested in cricket. There were 2 very important cricketers visited Puttaparthi. I was in my 6th grade or so. We were so crazy. Even now we are crazy about this cricket, which English people left in India unnecessarily, I feel. So we wanted their autograph. So at the night 8:30, we were roaming in the mandir for getting autographs of these 2 cricketers. So then we were caught by, our teacher, Ishwarama High School teacher. He said, why are you guys roaming around here at late time? We said, sir, we want the autograph of these cricketers. See, then this teacher told us, autograph of Swami is more precious than the visiting cricketers, because they are coming for Swami. You are giving more important, than the Swami. Actually, they may be little masters. Masters of the masters is Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. So we should never go behind the celebrities or the devotees who came to Swami. Swami is more important than any one of them. So our relation to Swami, our relation to Prashanthi Nilayam should be more precious than our relation to any uncle, auntie, or anybody. See, this is what told by our teachers. We are so proud that we had such teachers, even at, like very young age. They guided us in a correct path. Then comes my mother, grandmother, who is a Swami's classmate in Bukkapatnam. I mention always her because at the 12th grade, after my 12th grade, in India, there was a funny exams called, there is one for engineering, one for medical. So if you are good in math and do very well in engineering, you become an engineer. If you are good in science and do well in that exam, you become a doctor. That's all. After 12th, you are decided what to become, what not to become also. So I wrote this exam. I failed in my engineering exam. So I had to go back to Puttaparthi College for BSc. We were in a family function at one place. My cousins, hooligans, were making fun of me. They were saying, oh, you didn't get engineering. You will go to Puttaparthi and you become a sannyasi. Sannyasi in Telugu also means useless. So I was a bit hurt. That is the time my grandmother, who was there in that function, came to my rescue and said, "Ee gaadadalaki em telusu puttaparthi viluva." That's the way she used to speak. She says, what these donkeys know the value of Puttaparthi. Swami is giving you 5 more years of, opportunity to stay with him. Ayana Paramatmudu. This is what she told. He is God incarnate. Can you imagine a classmate telling about Swami? Today we have people who mimic Swami, who act like Swami. If they can get this certificate from their classmates that he is Paramatmudu, it is impossible. This is possible only to Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, because he is God incarnate. What makes her to tell and tell? She told me, you are blessed with a college seat. Your life will change. I think about her at every minute of life. See, that is that kind of effect Swami had on his own classmates. Can you imagine? Go and tell your classmate that you are God. See what happens. See, that is the way Swami, because he touched her. When she lost her husband, Swami writes a beautiful letter to her saying that you come and stay in Parthi. You enjoy all this. These are the people already staying. This life itself is Jagat, coming and going. You come and enjoy this Sai Vaibhavam, Swami says. See, he has taken care of his own classmates. He is ideal in every aspect. Then, like you join the college and you feel like you should sing in the mandir. So I also did that. I asked Swami, I want to sing. So Swami, padalani undi. We used to ask every day. We used to bother Swami. Swami said, Manchidi padu. Manchidi padu in the sense, Telugu, we don't know whether the punctuation exists, because Swami will say something and walk away. Manchidi means good, sing. Manchidi padu means sing a good one. We don't know what it is. So I went back and asked these elders who, singing in the mandir. They said it's not that easy to sing in the mandir. They said you have to sing in the hostel. If you are good, then we'll make you to sing in the college. Then if you are good, when Swami comes to hostel, we will sing. I felt it is like Tirupati Sarvadarshanam, in the sense, in Tirupati you are in a long queue. You will never see God. We don't know when to see God. So that's why I went ahead writing poems, all that. That's a different. I'll share it some other time. And also every day, Swami used to puzzle us. Thank God we studied science after seeing Swami. Science came to us, after Swami. Sai came first. So it is every day it used to happen. Swami came one day into the portico talking. One boy who was doing gymnastics, he broke his gold ring. And he is asking for the, to replacement. Can you imagine? Both 2 pieces he shows to Swami. Swami takes 2 pieces and he puts together and he blows it, like that. The ring is formed. I studies chemistry, sir. I know Gold melts at 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. Puttaparthi is warm, but not 2000 degrees Fahrenheit warm. So the gold is melted and formed. So how can he do that? Then Swami beautifully says, Miru chadivedi padartha vijnanamu, nenu cheppedi parartha jnanam. So again in Vrindavan, myself and my friend Raghu, we were sitting. Swami comes and plucks a fruit and gave a devotee. He threw it on us. Actually, we saw the fruit with our own eyes. When Swami went into Vrindavan, we checked that plant very carefully. That plant not even flowers. Forget about fruit. How can you get a fruit out of a non-flowering plant? Botany is gone there. Then there is another student who studied up to studied in this Swami's school, then joined the college. The problem happened is his father came and said, you have to join the engineering. So then he didn't want to leave Swami. Then Swami said, you should follow your father, go and join the engineering. So he joined the engineering, but before going, he asked Swami, whenever I come, please talk to me. See, that's what he asked the God. So then Swami said, go, it's fine. He blessed him and said, so he got into a big trouble because he was growing in height. Can you imagine? His doctor said he will become 7.5. Can you imagine that? That is too much of a height for an Indian person. Then he came running to Swami, and Swami just, smilingly, he said, he bent his head with 2 fingers. He tapped on his neck, saying that in Kannada, Udda belidirodu saku buddhi beliyali, saying that let's stop growing in height. Let's grow. Let's your buddhi grow from today. The height on that day remained constant. Can you imagine? The growth stopped. Thyroid activity or pituitary, whatever it is, all the endocrinology is stopped. See, that's why he is the divine endocrinologist. He is beyond these sciences. And Swami asked, boys who want Sai Gita. Everybody felt, how to take Sai Gita home, because you can't take Sai Gita home and, tie it in your house. Then one boy said, Swami, give me the Sai Gita. Then Swami materialized Sai Gita and gave it to him. Like that, he used to play with. Swami came to chemistry lab. This is the way Swami came to our chemistry exhibition, and he's telling Professor Sampath, these boys are doing, some kind of a magic. Can you imagine? Who are we in front of man of miracles? So that's the way Swami plays like a small child. And Swami, one boy showed Swami the molecular structure of camphor. You know what Swami said? What does camphor teaches you? Everybody kept quiet, because then Swami said, camphor teaches you that in the service of God, you don't even leave the traces. Like, when you put camphor and do the harti, now traces remains. That means no trace of ego should remain in Sai service. See, that's what Swami teaches, even a materialistic thing to the spiritual truth. Then let me go quickly. Not only that, Swami used to teach us wonderful truths about Bhagavad Gita. Like, one day he came and said, what is the meaning of Bhagavad Gita? And he even asked Gandikot Subbarao Garu, Subbarao, what is Bhagavad Gita? Then he started telling Karmaneva Adhikarastele, that Swami said, Kucho, Kucho. Then he came and started doing Swami's Padaseva. Swami asked boys to sing the first sloka of Bhagavad Gita, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsavaha. Then Swami said, sing the last sloka of the Gita. Yatra Yogishwara Krishno, Yatra Partho, Dhanurdra, Tatra Sri Vijayur Bhutir Dhvanitir Matir Mama. Swami says, take the last word of Mama, fuse with the first word of Bhagavad Gita, Dharma. Mama Dharma is your Bhagavad Gita. Do your duty. If you are a computer engineer, do your duty. If you are a husband, you do your duty. If you are a scientist, you can fit anybody into that Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is doing your duty. If your duty is, connecting to Prashant Nilayam, you need to do that. That is Bhagavad Gita. So I had opportunity being a Krishna in Bhagavad Gita drama. Swami came and showed us how Krishna stood while giving Bhagavad Gita. Can you imagine? This was in this was in Hillview Stadium, and we made a little drama about it actually. Like Lemmu Dhanunjaya, like Dharmam Begelichu, Regulan Manta Minta Vivastuni Inta. Saravarsham Tappa Saranyamu Ledu Vishwasanti. This is Swami's, Bhagavad Gita, one of the things he used to tell as a poem. We made that, and Swami said, like how to stand. Can you imagine? He told even Arjuna, do you have your contact lenses? Because Arjuna used to wear glasses. Swami said, do you have your contact lenses? See, Swami is amazing in direction. And Swami said, how to point the Kauravas. And, then Swami said, what is the age of Krishna and what is the age of Arjuna at the time of Bhagavad Gita? 75 and 80 years. Krishna was 80 years and Arjuna was 75. They went to war, sir. At 75 and 80, for us, it is a war itself. And we are math students, and we came back and thought, how old must be Bhishma? He must be. Sorry. Sorry, sir. Sorry. So then that happened. Sorry about that. Then there is another drama where I was a king. This man came, makeup man came from Dharmavaram, and I was a king in that drama. We took care of that. I spoke to them in the local language. I got him food. Then he said, "I'll make you a good king." So he made me a good king with all the crown and all. So this was in the hostel. Swami came, and when I went with all that crown and big mush, which Sai students never have, so Swami started smiling at me, and also I went to touch his feet. I could not touch. This is the way a student, kisses Swami's feet. Then with crown on my head, I could not reach his feet because I was worried that sharp nails will touch Swami's feet. So that happened in a split of a second. Can you imagine how much time you take to just a minute or so? Can you imagine when I became center president in Baltimore? This came to my rescue. Crown on your head comes on his way to reach his lotus feet. Don't take it to your head that you are a center president, regional president, or a national president, or a chairman, or anybody. If you keep that onto your head, take it to your head. Don't take it as an anointment. It is just an appointment, sir. You have to reach his feet. That is the way. This is Sai service. That's why we are selected, or whatever it is. So crown on your head comes on your way to reach Swami's lotus feet. Our aim should be reaching his lotus feet, not wearing the crowns. See, these are the simple things, and I don't know how much time I have. Then one day, boys broke all these, flower pots while going into Vrindavan. This man, that is none other than, wonderful V.K. Narasimhan Garu, he complained to Swami saying that your boys doesn't have discipline, Swami. Swami is like a mother. Swami said, how can you say that? They love me. Can you imagine? Swami, who tells about discipline, is telling this, they love me. Look at outside. Boys are running behind movie stars and movies. They're going around all sorts of things. My boys are running towards me. So like a mother, he protected that day. Then as a father, he used to correct us. This is one quiz in which I was, participating, and I dragged the mic from one of my, teammate for answering correctly. Swami noticed that. So I thought I can avoid Swami for some time, so that Swami will forget. But can you imagine, immediately after that, there was a lunch. I was hiding behind a pillar in Vrindavan, dining hall. Swami comes and he said, hey, he came into my row. I know that he's going to catch me. I went and said, Swami Kshaminchandi, Swami, please forgive me. Then Swami said, he was about to give a nice tight slap. Then I told Swami Kshaminchandi, I told, forgive him, Swami. Then Swami said, Swami kept quiet. He didn't put any hand. Then immediately I took, think Swami was telling a wrong answer, so I have to do that. Swami said, again, you speak. It is not about right or wrong. It's not about winning. Sabha Maryada, Swami told me this. It's about how you behave on the stage is more important for me. Marks are not more important to me. Remarks, you should not get a remark. That is what Bhagavan Sri Sai Baba is all about. So let me go quickly, as I don't know how much time I have. So again, we would have never learned Vedam. We learned Vedam to go near to him, touch his feet. Just going near to him only made us to learn all these things. But again, Vedam gave a beautiful, experiences for me. This is the priest, Padmanabha Shastri Garu. He used to do the puja in Mandir, and also every day he used to do puja for this beautiful Swami's picture inside the Mandir. One day when he was doing, he finished the puja and he was about to give Harti. Real Swami finishing the interview comes inside and he take the Harti from Padmanabha Shastri Garu. So I felt how many priests will have this kind of wonderful opportunity when you pray to God, the real God appears for the Mangala Harti. So Swami went off. Few days later, there was a, Ganesh festival. Being a Vedam student, I was selected by none other than Shivasankar Sai sir, my Vedam teacher, to be a priest for Ganesha. I used to take bath in the morning and evening. I need to take care of the puja of Ganesha. And Swami came. When Swami came, I was doing Ganesha puja. Actually, Swami came into the hostel dining hall. I was, turned towards Ganesha. And as Swami entered, I was, in a loud way, I was doing puja for Ganesha, so that Swami, I want to be known as a priest in front of Swami or something like that. I was telling Sumuka Nama, Ekadantaya Nama, like that. Swami nicely came, stood right next to me. I could see his Swami's robe. Swami asked Warden, where did you get this priest from? So everybody started laughing. And Swami said, the priest and the Ganesha look alike because, in the size. Then Swami said, then everybody laughed. And when Swami was leaving, my Warden said, come and, give the Harti to Swami. Can you imagine my puja to Ganesha, my Harti to Sai Ganesha? So I gave the, basically we show the Harti and Swami lights it. And, he, after giving Harti, Swami was walking. I took away the Harti like that. In my left ear, Swami says, Santoshama. Can you imagine that day when, Padmanabha Shastri Garu got that, blessing? I never thought even I wanted it. Swami is the one who gives what you don't ask also. That is why sometimes he'll just give you. That's giving and forgiving is Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. So that's the way. And this is one experience. My sister got into depression after the second delivery of hers, and family went through quite a bit of trouble. My brother called me and said, can you go and ask Swami to give the prasadam? Actually, I went for prasadam, and Swami took me inside, our morning darshan, and then he took me inside personal interview room, and he said, what's happening? Then I poured down, and actually I cried, and Swami put my head on his lap and patted, saying that don't worry, I am there. You go home and bring your mother and sister. I will cure her. See, that is the only doctor who can say I'll cure her. Not all other doctors says I will treat only. So Swami goes inside another room, gets 500 rupee notes and puts in my pocket. He's telling, go home and bring them. Can you imagine? Swami is that perfect in his, everything. So I went there, got my family the very next day. Swami gave us interview. When we were all in the room, Swami came inside. So I was, towards the door because all the family members were sitting. My sister was sitting in the middle. Before he goes to his chair, he stopped in front of my sister and said, what happened to you? Then immediately he looked at Swami. Even now she says he saw Narasimha-like eyes in Swami. So Swami materialized a lingam This is the lingam. It is still with my sister. Gave it to her and said, 7 days you put water on it and drink. 7th day you will be all right. Can you imagine? That is the divine doctor. He goes and sits in the chair. My mother falls on Swami's feet and said, Swami, like, she was crying. And Swami says, as a mother, if you get scared, am I not there? You should never get scared. Leave it to me. I am there. Can you imagine? That is the day I understood what is Divine Mother is. Divine Mother is the mother who takes care of all mother's problems. Can you imagine? See, my mother was consoled that day. Like, then he called my brother, eldest brother. He said, after your father's, demise, you took care of the family. I'm so happy. And he materialized a Akshay Patra of Vibhuti and gave it to him. See, these are all the family values. Then Swami spoke to my sister and my brother-in-law, who was also there. He said, family should not become, a Korean war. This is what Swami says, Swami's words that day. And, Swami told my brother-in-law, when you come from the office, when you have headache, your wife puts Amrutanjan. Amrutanjan is a balm in India, which for the headache. So when your wife is not well, it is your duty to take care of her. So, తల్లిదండ్రులు తిట్టుకుంటూ ఉంటే పిల్లలు కొట్టుకుంటూ లేస్తారు. Saying that if wife and husband fight, children become violent. Can you imagine? These are the golden words of Swami. Then he blessed, and unknowingly my sister, suddenly she asked, Swami, please take care of Balu. That is me. So then Swami said, I will take care of him. You take care of the little boy you neglected for 3 months. My sister had a small boy. Then he asked me to hold that vibhuti and gave it to everybody. Since I was holding, he put it into my pocket. So whenever I hear this, sarire jarjari bhute vyadhigraste kalebare aushadam janhavi toyam Vaidyo Narayano Hari. See that when body is in a temple of God, but afflicted by disease, it can become corpse. Water from the doctor will resurrect the health back. That doctor is none other than Narayana, says Vedam. That's what his Swami showed that day. So exactly on 7th day, my sister became all right. That is Swami. So that incident made every time I used to see Swami, I used to cry, because the Swami who used to play with us, who used to, like a direct drama, all these things is entirely different from the Swami who saved my sister. I could see with my own eyes. Then one day Swami came just to take me out of that. I feel Swami came after the interview into the Bhajan hall. He said, who is a good boy? So like, lift hand. Can you, in the 60 of us were sitting, I was sitting in the middle. I thought everybody will lift their hand because everybody is good. I'll be left out. So I lifted my hand. So I was alone with a hand up in the, 60 people. Swami, with his index finger, he said, made a way to come to me. When he came to me, he said, how do you know you are good? Then I was on my knees and I said, Swami ki telusu, saying that Swami knows that I am good. Then Swami asked brothers and sisters one beautiful question. Conscience lo confidence unda. This is the question he asked in front of everybody, saying that, see, there is a conscience in us. That is the one which drives us, which tells when you are right or wrong, which takes you to the right direction. So that is what Swami is asking. Do you have a confidence in that conscience, which is none other than God inside? That is the innate divinity. I said, yes, Swami. He was so happy. He said, goodbye, and he patted and gave namaskar, and he went off. The line closed. This is the wonderful incident in my life, guided me professional, personal, in all forms of, whenever I had some kind of a doubt, I thought about it and moved forward. See, that is the way Swami takes care of us at every time, remembering that your conscience is Bhagavan Satya Sai Baba, is constant integrated awareness. Then let me conclude. This is after a long time I went, and on the 3rd January 2011. See, like even at that time, I wrote a poem, on Swami, and Swami came and he took time to read it. That is, whenever I see this picture, I get tears, because even I didn't even worry about Swami's physical, health, but he took so much time to read it. And this is the poem I wrote, saying that Kamalaptuni Kiranamulaku Kanularaga Vichundu Kamalamu Bangin Na Hrut Kamalambuno Ni Padakambulamula Pinchada Nanu Kavaga Vegarave Partivihar, saying that Swami, I am waiting for you, just like a lotus waiting for the sun to offer this lotus of my heart at the lotus feet of Sai. He took it. Let me, this is the video. We can see it later also. Finally, I just want to conclude, actually, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Swami used to sing this beautiful poem. From my childhood, it was, I always used to hear this poem called Dhana Murasiga Posinan Daragarani Anandamunu Miralandu Konudi Tirthayatralenno Tiriginan Kanarani Anandamunu Miralandu Konudi Vidyalaniyu Valle Vesinan Kanarani Anandamunu Miralandu Konudi Pranamul Bigabatti Palumarlu Kanarani Anandamunu Miralandu Konudi Kasu Karchu Ledu Kaya Kastamu Ledu Ledu Sadhanadi Bada Manasu Kintayu Ichi Mari Sai Kadanunna Andarani Sukhamu Pondagalaru Andarani Sukamu Pondagalaru. He says he is the one who gives this ultimate joy which cannot be achieved by cash. Even the pilgrimages, reading sacred texts, doing all the sadhanas. He says, Kasu Karchiledu. You no need to spend anything. Just turn towards me. Hold on to him. Don't miss your connection to Prashanti Nilayam. Hold on to him. Come as a family. Come together. We have a new regional officers at SSGC, Texas. Please come together. All the brothers and sisters who are hearing from the other, centers who are not yet joined GC, we welcome all of you. Come together and strengthen, Uncle Paddy Padmanabhan and his team. Recently, we announced the regional team for Texas. Please come together. For us, Swami is more important than the people, sir. Swami and Prashanti Nilayam. We cannot live forever. That is our Swami. This is Swami where from there only he preached, and there only he showed the way to all of us. With Swami's this message, I'll conclude my talk.
ముఖ్యంగా మన సత్యసాయి సంస్థల యందు ఏ సంస్థ అయినా కాని అహంకారము, ఆడంబరము, అభిమానము ఈ మూడు ఉంటే మనం పని చేయలేము.
Primarily and basically, in all the wings of Satya Sai organization, we should be free from all egotism, all show and all attachments.
ఈ మూడింటిని త్యాగం చేసినటువంటి వాడే సరియైన సేవలో పాల్గొనడానికి అధికారి అవుతాడు.
Only that person who sacrifices all these things can get the authority to undertake service activity
కనుక
properly.
స్వామి చెప్పినటువంటి విషయములంతా కూడాను మా మంచి కోసం అనేటువంటి భావమును మీరు తలంచుకొని తద్వారా జరిగిపోయినటువంటి అంతా మరచి రాబోయేటువంటి యొక్క జీవితానికి తగినటువంటి ఆదర్శంగా మీరు నిరూపించాలని నేను ఆశీర్వదిస్తూ నా ప్రసంగాన్ని విరమిస్తున్నాను.
Whatever Swami has said is in the best interest and the welfare of all of you. And you'll have to take this in this particular spirit, forget the past mistakes and past lives, undertake the activity, keeping in view all that Swami has just said in future, and sanctify your lives. Thus Swami is getting his discourse to a close.
Sai Ram, Swami is also saying that, forget the past, whatever has happened last year, all that, we should forget all that, move forward with, connecting to Prashanti Nilayam. Thank you all for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Jai Sai Ram.
Sri Sai Ram. Hey, Sai Ram, Balu. Not sure whether you can hear a system of music. Anand, please text that. Thanking Balu. Thank you, Swami, and thank you, Balu, taking us to Prashanthi Nilayam and just walking around the entire Puttaparthi with so many nice episodes and pictures, making us to think of Swami. Our only goal should be think of Swami, pray to him to bless us, to love him, and so that he can love us. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Dear Swami, our loving, humble, and reverential pranams at your divine lotus feet, Swami. On this holy and auspicious Aradhana day, there can be no better Aradhana worship to you than chanting your name, sing your glory, and thus sanctify our life. Swami, we pray to you that this Aradhana should become our regular sadhana too in our lives. This day, April 24th, though our eyes missed seeing your divine physical form, Swami, 11 years ago, we are sure that you are in us, around us, and always beside us. Quote from Swami's discourse: I have come to light the lamps of love in your hearts, to see that it shines with added luster. I have not come to speak for any religion or to collect followers for any doctrine. I have come to tell you that the universal and unitary faith, the Atmic principle, the path of love, the duty of love, the obligation of love, to remind us of ourselves and the role that we have to play. If we reflect deeply on this, it is apparent that Swami was here in his physical form for each one of us and guide us in the path of love. What better way than singing his glory by means of Namasmarana on this auspicious day? Swami, today we have come to your abode to offer a bouquet of songs with our heartfelt love and gratitude to you, Swami. We begin our musical offering with a beautiful song on Lord Ganesha, Mangala Dayaka, Sumuka, Varada, Shuba. Sai Ram.
Sumuka, Varada, Shuba. discourses in Prashanti Nilayam, great singer-saints like Tyagaraja made sweet offerings to God in the form of kirtanas suffused with bhava or feeling, raga or tune, and tala or beat, and won His grace. There is so much sweetness in such devotional songs. God's grace can surely be obtained by such devotional singing. You cannot win the grace of God by empty rhetoric. It is only through devotional singing, suffused with bhava, raga, and tala, that divinity can be attained. God will be moved by such sankirtan. We now present a popular composition by Saint Tyagaraja, Samaja Varagamana, where he praises Lord Krishna and says, O protector of the lotus-like hearts of the saintly, O Krishna, whose fame transcends time. Sai Ram.
Samaja Varagamana, Samaja Varagamana, Sadhguru, Samaja Varagamana, Sadhguru, Saraswathi Dayaka, Adi Dayaka. Bhajan,
During the construction of Super Specialty Hospital, a person asked Swami if they should present a bill to the patients after their treatment was over and then tell them that the total cost has been waived off. Swami lovingly responded and said, "Does your mother present you with a bill after every meal? No, a mother does every action selflessly because she has unconditional love for her child. Then how can we ever think the Divine Mother would ever act like this?" Such as Swami's motherly love showered on each and every being. We offer our next song, Pyare Sai Hamare. Our dear Sai, please open our hearts. None other but you reside in our hearts. When you come near us with a smile on your lips, with your sweet look, Swami, you are our dear Sai. Please open our hearts, our sad hearts. Our dear Sai, please open our hearts. Sai Ram.
This may
In a beautiful poem penned by Bhagwan, Swami describes the purpose of his descent. Swami says, Nanda Balude, the son of Nanda, has come as this Ananda Balude, the blissful one, to play with his loved ones. We now present Manushini Madhavuni Jaya. Sai Ram.
ധരണി വച്ചേ
Manushini Madhavuni Jaya Madhura Madhavuni
Swami has always been fond of Mirabai's bhajans and asks his students to sing them frequently. During his 2007 Kodaikanal trip, he gave 500 rupees to each of his students and told them to go shopping. One of them decided to buy a small Mirabai idol as a gift for Swami. The boy was sure that Swami would like it. Swami gifted his students with a session where he examined what each of them had purchased. Swami uses every opportunity to give his students chances of his divine interaction. After all the boys had shown their purchases to Swami, Sai Giridhar went to Swami with the Mirabai idol. He showed it to Swami, and Swami placed his hand on the idol. He then said, "It is nice, keep it." Giridhar clarified, "Swami, this is a gift for you, Mirabai. Please keep it with you." Swami smiled and returned the idol. He then said, "This is only an idol. Mirabai is in me. She is not separate from me." There was silence after that, and everyone could only marvel at the saint's devotion to her Lord. We now present a popular Meera bhajan, Payoji Meine, Ramanathan Payo, where Mirabai extols the value of Ramanama and says, "I have been bestowed with the wealth of Lord Rama's blessings. This treasure of the Lord's name does not get extinguished, nor is it stolen by thieves. In fact, it increases manifold day by day." Sai Ram. The next song we will be offering is a special song that Swami would always ask his boys to sing in every program. Some of the lines of this song include, "If not for meditating on your form, what else is this body for? If not to serve you with these hands, what is the purpose of these hands? What are these eyes for if they cannot see you?" And Swami would actually touch his hands and eyes, indicating to students what these are for. Let us all enjoy this song, Madhura Mohana Ganashama.
When Swami was about 10 years of age, Satya, as he used to be fondly called, formed a Pandari Bhajan group in the village of Puttaparthi. The group consisted of about 16 to 18 boys dressed uniformly, each holding a flag in the hand and wearing jingling anklets. They all danced to the tune of folk songs, describing the yearning of pilgrims for Lord Panduranga's darshan. A divine destiny was drawing Baba towards Pandharpur since his childhood. At last, Baba visited the shrine with a number of devotees from Maharashtra in 1965. Shri Kasturi, who witnessed the visit in person, writes in Satyam Shivam Sundaram Volume 2 and says, Swami stood silent for a few minutes before Panduranga, the Vittal whose vision he himself had often vouchsafed to those who yearned to see that form in him. Then he moved on to the shrine of the consort, Rukmani, the Shakti of the Lord, and urged by a quick, irrepressible memory, he created a Mangal Sutra and placed it around the neck of the goddesses. A page from the Bhagavata came alive during that moment. Our next song is Ho Vittalae, sung in praise of Panduranga and composed by Namadev, where he pleads to Vittala, come for the Lord, come, O Lord, come for the love of your devotee, come and give salvation. Sai Ram.
special offering by the children to Swami. This song is very close to all of Swami's students and is referred to as the epic song as it was composed under special circumstances. Swami was once speaking to himself, not speaking to students or to anyone for that matter. Swami continued granting darshans, but seemed to be totally absent. No letters were taken, nor were there any interviews. But it was in this scenario that something special happened. A small spark of love that grew and grew, which consumed and continues to consume everyone in its wake. It all began with the intense pining in the hearts of students who feared that the scenario might turn out to be the new normal. Sai brother Dilip Chowdhury, one of the students serving Swami at the residence, sent a message to brother Shailesh Srivastava, who was the physics teacher and also an excellent composer and harmonium player. He asked, can a special song be composed for Swami, a song which would express the love which students have for their Swami? It should be a song that every student can sing. The prayer from our heart should go out to the Lord and echo to touch the hearts of his devotees as well, where they can understand how much we love him. This song, composed by Brother Shailesh, was spontaneously flowing from within. On that unforgettable day, Swami entered the auditorium and sat on the dais. Just before his discourse, the pleading voice of a little child to its mother filled the air. Listen to the call of the heart. Listen to it. Swami sat still. He had permitted the students to sing, and so was not surprised. But the whole crowd that had gathered did not expect this, and they watched on as the students cried out, "Oh, how much we love you, Humko. Humko Tumse Pyaar." It was a poignant moment, and everyone's heart was warm with love for Swami. Swami also seemed so touched. In fact, Swami would go on even to make a reference to the song in his Guru Purnima discourse, and also acknowledge the students' prayers and sadhana. We now offer this special song to our dear Swami, followed by an instrumental bhajan on the violin as the final song of this program. Sai Ram.
Sai
Shri Sai Ram, thought for the day. Why should we consider ourselves most fortunate? On the eve of the Aradhana Mahotsava, Bhagavan reminds us of the greatest blessing we have been showered with, so that we may strive to live up to it. Today in this Kali Yuga, while the currents of contradiction and controversy are undermining faith and adoration, the good fortune that has brought you face to face with me is something for which you must thank your merit, won through many lives. This is no ordinary good fortune. This incarnation is moving with you in order to console, encourage, and cure. This relationship is something unique. It has to be kept unbroken until the goal is reached. I have no wish to draw people towards me, away from the worship of my other names and forms. You may infer from what you call my miracles that I'm causing them to attract you to me and me alone. They are not intended to demonstrate or publicize. They are merely spontaneous and concomitant proofs of divine majesty. I am yours and you are mine, forever and ever. What need is there for attracting and impressing, for demonstrating your love or my compassion? I am in you, you are in me. There is no distance or distinction. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Thank you so much for coming for this day. Together we are able to pray to Swami and seek his blessings. Thank you, children. In short period of time we were able to learn this song, beautiful song, and sing in front of Swami. And thank you to the teachers and all the companies. So many people came this afternoon for set up this altar. And thank each and every one of them. And after the Arati, after the Vibhuti Prasadam, like rose flowers are there, please take and then offer it to Swami. And also please help us in winding up this center. And one more thing, today in WhatsApp we have sent sign up for the newsletter. In case if you have missed that, please go and check and please sign up so that weekly once you'll be getting a newsletter with all the information for the center from the National SSGC and Prashantini. Thank you so much. Sai Ram.
Param Pavitram Paramam Vichitram Leela Paramartha Ishtartha Moksha Vibhutim Idamashayami Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhutim Paramam Vichitram Leela Vibhutim Paramartha Ishtartha Moksha Vibhutim Idamashayami Paramam Pavitram Baba